Welcome, welcome! It's Mud Dog with the Texas Space Navy, bringing you another Star Citizen video. In today's video, we're going to take a little look at Inside Star Citizen, and yes, this video is longer than the Inside Star Citizen episode that they put out this week, because it was really short, tiny, like not even 8 minutes long. So we're going to talk about it and maybe a few other things, maybe try to expound a little bit on some of the information that they're talking about here as best we can. So this episode was all about refining and weapon zeroing. So a couple of things that, well, one that we've been hoping for and another that we've really needed for a long time. So when they talk about refining, they're mostly talking about station refining here, but we all know that they're going to have a refinery ship as well. And I think the game mechanics are going to work very similar to the station refining mechanics. Maybe the exception that you won't be able to run as many refinery tasks as the station could. So here you have the refinery gameplay, and it's be better if you probably listen to what they said on how to do this. I hope they have kind of a tutorial. It shouldn't be too difficult. You should just be able to pick the material that you're wanting to refine and put it over, in the refinery task. Click on a couple of buttons there and then click on refine. Now it will take a certain amount of time to do the job. You can leave if you want and you'll be notified on your visor. You could stick around and watch the timer go down. You could start some other task. There's all sorts of possibilities here. Kind of interesting. I don't know if I like the whole leave your payload to refine thing. I mean, if you're doing the work, you think you would stick around to finish it instead of just letting it completely automation to the end. I don't know. I just have a paranoia, I guess, about leaving my stuff where other people can get to it. You would think that people would be able to steal your ore or something from the station. Maybe they could spoof your ship, ID. I don't know. But it's definitely something to consider for the future. I'll probably be sticking around closer to the refining stations while the tasks are being done, so that I don't know, just getting used to the idea of being around my work. So yeah. Now, what is the benefit of actually using one of these refineries? Well, it depends on the refinery. Some of the refineries are going to be much better at producing the ore you're looking for than other refineries. So let's say you have Quantanium, and you take your Quantanium to Her L5, which is one of the rest stop stations in the Stanton system. And let's say they can refine your Quantanium, and they can do about a 50% job, so to speak. That the quality of the Quantanium that you get out of there will be worth, twice as much as what it would on the open market, raw. Then you decide, well, I don't really like that prospect. I worked hard to get this Quantanium. Can I move it somewhere else? Of course, Quantanium is very volatile, so that may be a different chore all in itself. But, you should be able to use different, commodities to cool down the Quantanium or to make it more stable for a little longer haul. Let's say you decide you're going to take your Quantanium and go to Everett Harbor above Hurston. So you leave Her L5 and go to Everett Harbor, and when you get there you start refining your ore, and it'll give you a 75% yield. So it'll definitely be better than the Her L5 station on refining your ore. Now, this is just an example. I don't know what the stations are, which stations are going to be better at refining which ores. But they did say that they will have different values for the stations. So some stations will do some things better than others. So you definitely need to have that in mind when you're going to be refining your ores. So once you refine your ore, you'll be able to sell it and get a much better value out of it than just doing it raw. So definitely some, benefits to doing the refining, or having somebody refine for you. Now, it will cost you some credits, it will cost you some time, but will the payout be worth the time that it cost? That's what you'll have to decide on the fly, in the moment, when you are approaching it. Now they're talking about weapon zeroing. This is something they've needed for a really long time. Bullet drop is a thing in Star Citizen, as they strive to be somewhat realistic in a lot of the things that they do. Now with weapon zeroing, you'll be able to accommodate longer ranges by zeroing the weapon to your reticle, which really means kind of like if it's a longer range, most likely your reticle's coming down a hair to compensate for it, so your barrel's going up. But anyways, that's a whole other topic of discussion. Now, they said this is going to be done on the 4x zoom scopes. Right now, I don't know if it's going to be higher than 4x zoom, because it'd be really nice to have one of those sniper rifles at 16x zoom shooting way down range. That would be a lot of fun. You could probably still do that, but I don't know if it's going to allow for the weapon zeroing with that particular scope just yet. Hopefully it is. They still have some time before 312 comes in to polish this up and make it even better. So I would imagine it'll open up to more than just the ×4 scope. That would be smart. But weapon zeroing will help you to hit some of those longer shots, and you should be able to use it with something more than just a sniper rifle. You'll be able to use it with your LMGs, your carbines, any weapon you have that can mount a 4x scope or better. You should be able to use the weapon zeroing. As you can see here, this is a really long shot, and it's 672 meters, and he's able to zero the weapon in and take those shots to get some long-range kills, which is something that we will need in the game for those ops that you want to strike from far and be silent. You don't always need to break down the door and rush in. Sometimes you need a little finesse, and one of those long-range shots are what the op calls for. So yeah, that was Inside Star Citizen this week, refining and weapon zeroing. What do you guys think? Did you enjoy the Inside Star Citizen? Did you feel like it was too short this week? I kind of felt like they could have put a little bit more in there. Maybe they could have done a ship shape on the Mercury Star Runner, since it's now in the PTU. Maybe they could have just put something else in there. Maybe talking or showing more of the refinery deck, on the space stations themselves. I just felt like this one was a little short. Are we getting our bang for our buck for being subscribers? Because the subscriber money is supposed to be what goes towards these videos and things. So like I said, I just feel like it was a little short. You let me know down in the comments what you think. What do you think about refining? I really like where the gameplay is headed. I think the gameplay is unique and interesting. Now, after doing it for 30 minutes to an hour, am I going to still think it's unique and interesting? I guess we'll have to wait and see what the verdict is after I've messed around with it a little bit more. And what do you guys think of the weapon zeroing? Is it something that you feel like is a long overdue, that's something we should be able to do, or should have been able to do a long time? I feel like that's definitely going to aid in some of those longer range shots. I know that people in my org are going to be using this weapon zeroing mechanic a lot, including myself. I do like sniping, so yeah, I'm going to enjoy that. So thank you all once again for tuning in and watching my video. I really do appreciate it. I'm trying to learn a new editor, so there are some bugs here and there to these videos, so I apologize for that. If you guys wish to support my channel, you can do that through Patreon or YouTube. That information's in the description of the video. If you're looking for an org to join, my org is Texas. We're always looking for cool people to play with. You got to be fun and interesting, and enjoy playing with other people. You can be new to the game, that's fine, as long as you get along with other people. The org will gladly accept you in, and people will help you along. Also, check out my referral code if you've never played the game and you're interested in getting in. Now's a good time. I'm Mud Dog with the Texas Space Navy, and I'll see you out in the verse.